culture, you know, where they really will just, you know, before an event like this, they're singing for 20 minutes on their own, any kind of songs that they're interested in. So it's been a joy to watch that growth and maturity. Tonight, we say thanks to you and the many, many volunteers who helped us raise $4 million in the MBA fund this past year, which is actually a spectacular story because I can remember in 1994 when the annual fund prior to that was $230,000, and we said we gotta make this stronger, and we did, and Clay Jackson helped me that year, and we had a celebration at their home in the spring, and we'd raised $750,000, and now we're up to over $4 million. So it's been a great journey. And truly, that is one of the largest numbers that you'll see in independent schools in the country. So we're in the 156th year of MBA, the 6th week of school. We have 835 students and 155 staff members. Some of you can think back to your own time at MBA. I can remember my first year, we had 530 students and about 80 staff faculty members. Nashville has changed dramatically. MBA has been the recipient of that, and we've been grateful for the demand that we've had these years. And I also think about the campus, which was 30 acres in 1994, now 250 acres at 3 different locations here at Harding Road, where we now have 50 acres, 10 acres in Sylvan Park, another 200 plus on a mountaintop, and 13 buildings now covering almost 600,000 square feet. I have always enjoyed and appreciated the depth and largeness of connections and interactions in my job and within this school community. As one of you witnessed yesterday, I spent time with 3 juniors before 7:45, talking with them about a class ring, as well as another student about how he's handling his parents' divorce. These opportunities are boundless and profound. It is inevitable this year that I am reflecting on so many lasts. My last parents' night this week, numerous events like last night when I introduced Nicholas Sparks to a crowd of 700 individuals, even my morning visits with an advisory or a walk home in the afternoon when I pass an awkward 7th grader. Yet I am in a place of gratitude and appreciation for all of these days, visits and moments. I am team teaching a variety of English classes this year from grades 7 through 12. This past month, I have been working with the 7th and 8th graders. It is the first time in 47 years I have worked with that level of students. Like the Wordsworth poem, my heart leaps up to when I behold a rainbow in the sky. I have been reinvigorated. I have relished the opportunity to hear speakers or to visit a class when a student did a rap version, as he did this week, of the prologue to the Canterbury Tales. The other evening, at our parents' night, I spoke briefly about one of my senior advisees who has matured wonderfully. That really is the real magic sauce of working in schools, is that you see this growth of young men. He has found his footing, a self-confidence that is making all the difference. Like my advisee, KJ, I too have grown at MBA these past 29 years. When I first arrived, I would declare unapologetically and probably self-righteously that we are most of all a college preparatory school. Now I see the shallowness of that view. Our mission should be first and foremost to build good people, to turn these boys into better men, to equip them with the inner resources to face life's challenges, and in doing so, to help them be kinder, gentler, respectful, and empathetic. This journey could not have been more gratifying, and tonight is a good time for me to express these sentiments as I say thank you to all of you for your care of and generosity to the school. I would now like to make a transition in my comments to recognize David Ingram, who has just stepped down from his role as MBA board chair after 9 years. In 1994, I first met with David Ingram at the old Shoney's restaurant on Hillsborough and Hobbs Road. I don't know if you remember that, David. From almost that moment through the present, David has been engaged with MBA. He was elected to the board in 1995 and served in a variety of capacities until he was elected board chair in 2013. Throughout these 9 years, David would frequently say, "I will do this job as long as you want me to." His commitments to MBA are tangibly felt all over the campus. He is the individual who helped us build the science building. He was the force and voice behind the building of the parking garage, the Lowry building, and the dining hall. And it was David's idea to name the Lowry building after Mary Helen Lowry. It is a distinguishing feature of our campus and community to have a building named after a teacher. David loves the emphasis on writing at MBA. He touts and appreciates the ethos of hard work and community at the school. He believes passionately that MBA's sense of leadership has made a difference to almost every part of Nashville and many places beyond our city. David has 2 sons, Henry and Bronson, who are with us tonight, and who graduated from MBA. He is proud of that connection and giving them their diplomas when they graduated. His father, brother, uncle, and a nephew all attended MBA, so he's deeply steeped in our history. But he is also committed to MBA's growth and future, vehemently focused on our motto of gentleman, scholar, athlete, and the school's principles and integrity. In late August, I went to dinner with Sarah and David to celebrate his tenure at MBA. I have never doubted David's love for MBA. In fact, I have always been inspired by that care and devotion and commitment. Sarah, we thank you for allowing David to take on this role. And David, we say a huge thank you tonight for your leadership and your dedication. I have 3 gifts to offer David as small tokens of his service to MBA. First, a book. I'll hand them to him in a moment. That pictures, I was telling Sarah this the other day, Henry and Bronson in their 6 years at MBA, and I know you'll love looking at that book, as will the rest of your family, as well as some other pictures that I think you'll enjoy from your tenure. A golf bag. His love of golf is obvious, and his good friend, Jimmy Griscom, helped us acquire this golf bag, and I think that will also be meaningful to you. And thirdly, a crystal bowl that simply highlights your tenure at MBA. So all of you, please join me in thanking David Ingram for his leadership in MBA these past 9 years.
Thank you, Brett. Well, I'm delighted to be here tonight with my family and to hear those nice words from Brad. And Brad's over here tearing up, and I'm going to try not to tear up, but it has been a tremendous honor to be in a leadership position at NBA. 9 years doesn't seem like that long, although when I think back on my tenure, when I joined the board, I think I was maybe 34 years old, which is pretty darn young. And you know, my dad died young, and I think Brad probably was the impetus behind having my brother John and me join the board at such a young age. But I got to observe a lot of leaders at NBA over a number of years, and I should just really talk about some of the people that I followed as board chair. To begin with was Ridley Wills. Ridley was just a dynamic person for this school, and one of the reasons the school is as good as it is. And then following Ridley was Ben Gamble, and Ben did a fabulous, fabulous job. And then Ben was followed by Jimmy Webb, and Jimmy's not with us any longer, but you'll never meet a nicer guy than Jimmy Webb. And when I was asked to do the job at, I guess, age 50, when I was thinking back on it, when I went to MBA, it was a different place. I had 69 people in my graduating class, and I might have been voted least likely to ever become board chair from my class. But here I am, and so I have a little bit of a test the boundary streak in me, and so they paired me up with Jim Cheek, who sadly is no longer with us. But Jim was such a great balance off, because sometimes I get a little bit out there on the edge, and Jim would kind of reel me back in. And so we really miss Jimmy and Jim Cheek. You know, what great people, and they were so dedicated to this school. So obviously, having my two sons here and handing them their diplomas was a highlight. You know, my dad went here, my brother, so many connections to MBA, and Brad mentioned that I truly believe that MBA is one of the secret sauces to Nashville's success. You know, everyone says, oh, Nashville, overnight wonder, it's this, that. Well, if you look at our student body and our alumni base at MBA, there's a connection to every part of Nashville. Every part of Nashville that means anything touches MBA in some way. And to me, that's, I think, so important, and why this school is so important. So to see this room full of people that have written checks and have been supporting this great institution, I thank you all, because you're part of what has made this school so great. And I hope that the next generations will continue to take MBA another 156 years or what have you. It's amazing to have a school last that long. So the board chairmanship has typically lasted of late maybe 7 to 9 years, something like that. And as Brad mentioned, I was happy to do it as long as possible, but I think it's healthy for a school for new leadership to come along, and everyone has a little different style of leadership. And Bill Carpenter is our new board chair, and I think Bill has done a fabulous job. And so in giving Bill, you know, some advice, I said there's 2 keys to being a successful board chair. First, you've got to have a talented headmaster who's a tireless worker, has a great vision for the school, and just a true gentleman, and we've had that with Brad Joya. So was the first key. So. And obviously that person has to have a very supportive spouse, and Minna has been the spouse of the century. And I think we're going to have that type of leadership in our new leader in William Daughtry and his wife. And then I said, the other key to being a successful board chair is you simply need to have a devoted alumnus pass away and leave you $103 million unrestricted, and you'll be a smashing success. So that's what worked for me. So thank you all very much. Enjoy dinner.
David, I think you're going to enjoy that book, maybe more than you enjoy the bowl. And I don't know, the golf bag's pretty cool. I'm Bill Carpenter. It is my pleasure to be here with you tonight as we celebrate you and thank you for your generosity to our school. It is my honor to serve as your chair. And I'm really looking forward to this year. I think this is the easy year for me. David set it up. Brad's still here. So I get to spend a year with Brad as our headmaster, and I get to soak it up, right? So all I have to do is learn everything that I can possibly learn in the next year, and we'll be okay. I'm hoping that's the case. Anyway, it is a real privilege for me to follow David Ingram as chair. David has been a remarkable leader for the school, and Brad described some of that for you. David's not kidding. It's exactly the advice he gave me about what it takes to be a successful board chair. Well, I don't know of anybody else who's going to come along and give us $103 million. I hope there's one of you here in the room. But he also said having a long tenured and established head of the school was a key, and Brad quit. Brad deserves his retirement, and I certainly do not begrudge him that. As a pretty successful retiree myself, I'm pretty good at it. I worked 40 years trying to find something I was good at, and I figured out how to do retirement. So if you look around this campus, you see David Ingram's mark all around. And Brad described these buildings. This place looks different and better because of David Ingram. And we really are beholden to him and to his leadership. And David, it has been a real pleasure for me to get to work with you over the last few years and to learn from you and to be your friend. This year, I look forward to honoring Brad in a lot of ways, big ways and little ways. We'll just do it a lot. It'll be a fun year in that regard. It's hard to imagine that this is your last headmaster's dinner as headmaster. But his career is one for the record books. And it will be literally a fun thing. No one will ever replace Brad Joya. But I think that we have found an outstanding successor for Brad. And you're going to really enjoy getting to meet and getting to know William Daughtry. He and his family will be here from time to time during the coming year, including at the spaghetti supper. So when you see some little kids running around at the spaghetti supper, those are Daughtry kids. And I know William is hoping they'll behave, but they'll be fun and they'll be good. Let me tell you something about change, just real quickly, because it's on my mind. Everything changes, and things change. You have new leadership. We'll have a new headmaster. Some things won't change. The mission of the school won't change. The motto of the school, gentleman, scholar, athlete, won't change. We spent time in our board meeting today talking about what do you want to be known for? So we want to be known as a great place to learn. We want to have great teachers, and we do, and we will. That's what we want to be known for. We want to be known for our athletic teams. We usually have really good athletic teams. Sometimes, our football team's 5-0, by the way. I don't know if y'all know that. We have dominating athletic teams, and we want to be known for that. But at the end of the day, I think we want to be known for the gentleman that we learn, that we teach, and that we show by our example how to be gentlemen. So, what do you want to be known for? We'll be known for that. And I think, David, the leadership that we have shown for 156 years in Nashville will continue to be known if we continue to show how to help young men be gentlemen, scholars, and athletes. I hope you enjoy your dinner. Brad may have something else to say, but thank you all for being here, and thanks for what you do for our school.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, David, for making those comments. I'll say a blessing. Let us pray. Bless this food to our use and us to thy service. Help us be ever mindful of the needs of others. Amen. Enjoy a great meal. That's the end of the program.